Thank you, Senator Cropwell, for bringing this to the House today. Firstly, I want to thank Minister Burke for coming to the challenge to take on board our considered views on the role and remuneration of councillors. Since I've been elected to the Seanad, the inadequate pay structure for councillors has been high on my agenda. I was told by the leader of the Seanad that a day would be set aside for my colleagues in this House to discuss the Moorhead report. A private member's motion had to be brought by 3 independent councillors to force the hand of the government to account on this issue. The government should be utterly ashamed of themselves for failing to take this matter more seriously. The county councillors are the loyal foot soldiers of political parties when it comes to canvassing at election times. As a former county councillor, I enthusiastically welcomed the opportunity we now have to deal with this topic and to introduce meaningful reform in this area. We can surely all agree that this matter concerns not only the role and pay of local authority elected members, but also concerns the quality and effectiveness of local government for the people of Ireland. What do I want, Minister? I want better local government that will enhance the lives of people up and down the length and breadth of this state in all 31 local authority areas. How can we achieve this objective, Minister? One important step towards achieving the objective is the fair and proper recognition of the work of councillors and the extraordinary time commitment that the role of a councillor requires. How do we do this, Minister? We do this as any good and fair employer would, by paying them properly. We do this by providing them with a pension like all other public servants and public representatives. We do this by providing them with properly structured and expertly delivered training and testing, thereby equipping them to serve their communities in a more effective and professional way. We do this by dropping the pretence that the role of the councillor is a part-time one, because in reality it is not that. It is a full-time role and should be paid accordingly. What I propose is not mere constructive and conservative tinkering with the existing system, but true reform of local government. Reform that will allow councillors to dedicate themselves to the task of providing better local government to the citizen. Key elements of this reform are the recognition of the full-time role of councillors, both in representing their communities and in exercising their functions of local authorities. It is noteworthy that councillors in this country administer a combined budget of €5 billion annually. It is important, therefore, that supports are put in place to educate and empower councillors, to provide them with the skills needed to exercise good governance and compliance in the distribution of this significant budget. Since May 2019, there have been 72 co-options into local government. Some of these co-options have been due to members being appointed to this House and the Dáil. Some have been a result of the workload involved in becoming a councillor. Good people are getting lost from local government because of our failure to support them as they deserve in accessing a living wage. It is impossible for young councillors to stay in local politics. Their wage is paltry and a job is temporary. It's impossible to obtain a mortgage, a car loan or any form of finance in this situation. Over the last years, our media have nationally announced over 6 pay increases for councillors, when in fact none have been delivered. The financial imbalance between the TD on a 6-figure salary and a councillor on pocket money might suit the local TD in dominating their constituency. The dual mandate may have been abolished, but in reality it lives on. The local TDs and senators in waiting for the national ticket must remember what their role is. It is a national role. The go-to person for the general public for local matters should always be the councillor. However, the minute any funding is announced, the national politician is the first to claim credit for it. There are 10 senators in the House that have got their office granted to them as a gift by their political masters in Cabinet. The masters of the local politician or county or city councillors is the ordinary citizen. I note that Fine Gael have put down a number of amendments to this motion. I think it is worthy noting that Fianna Fáil and the Green Party and Labour, who claim to be the working person's party, have not put down any amendments. They have remained silent on the issue. Just like in December, they had their opportunity to include councillors' pay in the budgetary expenditure and they opted not to do so. Councillors cannot wait until December 2021 for action to be taken, so I reject this amendment number 3. They have waited long enough. With regard to the matter of maternity, paternity and other forms of statutory leave that are currently unavailable to councillors, it is important that local authorities look at the provision of childcare in-house. We must remove barriers to the entry into politics for women. This particular amendment speaks to a national issue by the inadequate provision of childcare by the state. Minister Burke, you and Minister O'Brien and Minister McGrath have been dancing around the fire of councillors' pay for the last 8 months, and indeed for the last 6 years. I have asked what the views of the ministers are on the Moorhead report. I have asked for a meeting with the Taoiseach on the subject of councillors' pay. Even he has passed the buck back to Minister O'Brien. Minister O'Brien has told me that it is within the gift of Minister McGrath to sanction the pay increase for councillors. I want to know what were the recommendations that went from the Department of Local Government to Minister McGrath. Every county, every councillor in this country wants to know if this government values them to the tune of more than $17,600 per annum. In conclusion, I want to state that every councillor is motivated by the same thing, a commitment to their communities. The role of a councillor is multifaceted. All the councillor wants is a living wage. Please give them that.